In the somber heart of Delaware stands a fortress of education and tradition, the illustrious St. Andrew's Boarding School. Revered for its flawless reputation, it seems an unlikely stage for a chilling tale that will penetrate the core of your courage. Beneath the starless night sky, a quartet of boys dared to defy the school's sanctified curfew, lured by a morbid curiosity. They stole into the forest's depths, a place where silence hung like an intangible shroud and the twisted forms of ancient trees bore silent witness to their transgression. Among their possessions were ghostly, flickering candles and an antiquated washboard imbued with an aura of dread. In the heart of the haunting wilderness, they carefully arranged their bizarre altar on a slab of cold, lifeless rock. Their solemn ritual began as they posed questions to the silent washboard, their voices whispering secrets to the sentient night. For a time, the void swallowed their words, leaving them suspended in an eerie silence. That was until one among them dared to venture into the murky waters of his future. Will anything bad happen to me? The question seemed to awaken something within the grove, a primal fear lurking just beyond the veil of reality. Suddenly, the washboard began to move. Right now, it responded cryptically, every letter adding a haunting note to the ominous symphony of the night. At that moment, Ferlin Nako, one of the boys, was seized by an unseen force. His body convulsed violently, his once friendly gaze transformed into a malevolent glare that made the blood of his friends run cold. His features twisted into a grotesque mask of terror as he screamed, "I don't know you," and lunged at his companion with an unearthly ferocity. Overwhelmed with primal terror, his friends managed to pull him back. His strength ebbed away as suddenly as it had come, leaving him unconscious and lifeless. Carrying his limp body back to the dormitory, they left him in his bed, a chilling reminder of their terrifying ordeal. With the dawn came the illusion of safety. Ferlin awoke with no memory of the horrors that had transpired, his bewilderment matching the fear etched deeply on his friends' faces. They sought help from the school nurse, hoping she might unravel the mystery. But she was as clueless as they were, her perplexed expression only adding another layer to the chilling narrative, a tale that would haunt the hallowed halls of St. Andrew's for years to come. In the thick of his adolescent years, around 12 or 13, a curious Redditor spent the night at his companion Michael's home. Underneath the mundane suburban household, nestled in the cavernous basement, Michael, his sister, and the Redditor embarked on a chilling adventure. Their toy of choice. A spirit board, more commonly known as an Ouija board. The candlelight flickered across their excited faces as they knelt in a circle around the board, their fingers gently resting on the wooden planchette. Their laughter echoed off the cold concrete walls, the childish delight in their supernatural game fueling their courage. They were the masters of their own fear, or so they thought. Their mirthful whispers faded when an unsettling message seeped from the board. The question had been innocent enough, "Where are you?" Yet, the planchette, as if moved by an unseen hand, started to reveal an eerie response. It traced a path over the board, first to I, then C, then A, then N. The three friends exchanged nervous glances, their smiles now forced as the planchette spelled out a horrifying message, "I can see you through the window." A collective chill ran down their spines. They shot glances towards the small basement window. It was the room's only link to the outside world, a small pane that offered a view of the backyard and the gloom-shrouded woods beyond the driveway. Darkness had fallen, transforming the landscape into a monstrous void from which anything could emerge. Driven by a primal instinct, their eyes were drawn to the window. Just as they turned their heads, the soul-ripping sound of a vicious knock echoed from the glass. It was a noise that seemed to originate not just from the dark backyard, but from the very depths of their nightmares. 11:30 p.m. was never meant to be so terrifying. Their screams shattered the silence, their terror amplified by the hollow acoustics of the basement. Hearing their cries, Michael's father rushed downstairs, his face edged with worry. As they hastily explained the Ouija board's message and the subsequent knock, Michael's father quickly ushered them outside with the backyard lights blazing, scanning the perimeter for any signs of intruders. Upon hearing the eerie words of the Ouija board, Michael's father's protective instincts flared. He shepherded the frightened children back into the safety of the house, suggesting they put the night's horrors behind and get some sleep. Yet, the light of disbelief now shone in his eyes, and the kids could tell he no longer believed their spine-chilling tale. In the haunting year of 2014, a terrifying incident unfolded in the rural village of San Juan in southwestern Mexico. Three young American friends, Alexandra Huerta, age 22, her older brother Sergio, 23, and their 18-year-old cousin Fernando Cuevas succumbed to a harrowing ordeal after they innocently trifled with an Ouija board. The chilling encounter took place in an age-old house, shrouded in shadows, its secrets laying dormant. But when the trio began their innocent game, the walls seemed to tighten, the shadows deepen. Minutes melted away, and then, with an eerie suddenness, the board unleashed a potent force. Alexandra was the first to succumb, her body contorting unnaturally, her eyes clouding over as though entranced. A guttural growl tore from her lips, echoing through the quiet house, the sound more animal than human. A video recording of this incident stands as a chilling testimony of the event, her convulsions resembling something out of a demonic possession. Sergio and Fernando, too, fell prey to the malignant energy. They reported haunting symptoms that crept over them like a malicious shadow, blindness that plunged them into an inky void, deafness that muffled the world around them, and hallucinations that twisted their reality into a terrifying nightmare. In desperation, paramedics were summoned to the eerie scene. They were greeted with the spectacle of Alexandra, thrashing wildly, her eyes rolling back in her head. They were forced to restrain her, attempting to halt the self-destruction her body seemed intent on. The three victims were rushed to the nearest hospital. Their bodies continued to rebel, jerking with spasms and involuntarily movements that were disturbingly erratic. They were pumped with painkillers, sedatives, and eye drops, a cocktail of medical remedies in the hope of dispelling the affliction. The director of public safety in a nearby town recounted the horror of the rescue operation. Their symptoms were outlandish. Double vision, muscle spasms, difficulty swallowing, all while they were ranting about hallucinations, he said, his voice tinged with an unspoken fear. In their desperation, Alexandra's parents sought the help of a local Catholic priest, begging for an exorcism. Yet, they were turned away. The priest refused to intervene, citing their irregular church attendance. With no religious sanctuary to turn to, they were left alone to confront the mysterious aftermath of their ill-fated game.